Look, you guys blew me up for more story times, so here I am. Hi guys, it's your girl Fabulous Victoria, and I'm back with another video. But first, before we get into this video, please be sure to subscribe. That way you guys are notified of when I create more videos for you guys, and that way you guys can be a part of my journey of growing as a bigger YouTuber. Oh, do you guys like this little cuff thing that I have here on my ear? If you guys like that cuff, I'll put down in the description box below where you can find it, because they have all sorts of little accessories and stuff, and this is like a fake little cuff that you guys can put on your ear and everything. So yeah, it's really cute because you don't even have to go through the pressure of piercing your ear and everything, and you could just bloop, pop it on. Now guys, I want to talk to you guys about how my ex, you know, the crazy one, how he put me out. Now, I want to kind of clear things up here. He didn't just put me out. Like, I wasn't just out on the streets bumming it. Like, I did have a place to stay. It's just he kicked me out of his place. So, you know, I mean, I don't feel no kind of way about it. It's just what he decided to do. I'm going to kind of like tell you guys a bunch of different times, because it was kind of an ongoing thing with him when we were together. Like, we weren't together for that long, but it was an ongoing thing with him. He seemed to always want to try to put me out and stuff like that of his place, and kick me out and stuff after he wasn't happy with things that I said, or just if we was having a little rough patch or something, he always wanted to like put me out and stuff. So like when we first started dating, he sat there and he had gave me a key, and I should have known he was fucking crazy when he did that, because who just gives a person a key after they've been knowing each other for a very short amount of time? But that's what he did. So he ended up giving me a key or whatever, and I had the key to his place, which was a little apartment or whatever, and I went to the store with my sister and brother because we went to Sam's Club to go get us some groceries, because I still lived at my own house. So it wasn't like, you know, I was living with him or anything like that. I was living at my own house. He sat there and he wanted me to be over there with him right away, because as I mentioned in the last video, dude is clingy as hell, you know. So anytime that I was away from him, he acted like I literally was stealing his baby or something. But I literally just went to the grocery store. Now, here was my schedule back in the day. I was literally working from 8 all the way down to like 3, and then I would turn around and go right back to work from 3 to like 6. So I was gone practically all day. So we decided that we were gonna go to the grocery store on like a Thursday or something like that. So I still had to wake up to go right back to work, because I work at schools and stuff like that. So I'm working Monday through Friday. So when I went to, you know, go to the grocery store, it was like at 6 or whatever, 6 or 7, and Sam's Club closed at 8. So I barely had enough time to even go get groceries in the first place, but he was tripping. So once we was done grocery shopping and everything, I sit there and I get a call from him, and he's like,
when you get over here, could you know, give me back my key?
And I was like, what? I was like, I was just grocery shopping. Like, I'm seriously in here grocery shopping, trying to get groceries and stuff for my family, so me and my family can eat. And he's just like,
yeah, it's just, I just want my key back.
And I'm like, okay, say no more. Like, I'm not even about to sit here and deal with you. Like, I've had a bunch of stuff on my plate. And remind you guys, like, when this happened, it was right after the time that my mom had passed away. She used to do all that stuff. Like, I don't know how she used to do it, where she was like just being able to get everything done, but she used to do all that stuff. So I'm not used to doing all this stuff. So of course we going to the grocery store late in the month and stuff like that. You know, we not doing it like she used to do. My mom used to go at the beginning of the month to go get groceries and stuff. That way we had food all month long. But we not like organized like that. So we not doing it like that. Dude sits here and asks for the key back or whatever. And then like, that was just like a back and forth thing, where he would give me the key, he would take the key, And I'm just like, why do you keep taking the key? If you're going to take the key, then you might as well just keep the key. Then he ends up constantly just sneaking it on my keys and putting it right back on my key. And I'm like, this dude is fucking crazy. Then the day that he decided to actually kick me out, this is where the story got really, really crazy. When he decided to kick me out, we was already kind of like on the verge of breaking up. This was like the second to last time that we broke up before he was going to go away on a huge leave and be gone for like 6 months and be out of the country. And by this time we had already broken up like once. But I'm gonna do a whole separate video on how we like broke up and all that other kind of stuff. So if you guys really want that story time, just give this video a thumbs up. So when he sat there and he decided to put me out this time, I was kind of over him. Like at this point in time, I stopped really talking to him. I kind of just kept my distance. He would be in the room, I would be in the living room, just sitting there. So on this particular day, I sat there and broke some news to him, and I'll explain it in the video of how we broke up and everything in the whole breakup video. So I gave him some news earlier that day. Then afterward, it just seems like progressively throughout that day, he had a little attitude or whatever. And I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna sit here and deal with this. So I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, watching YouTube videos, catching up on all my YouTube people. Then that's when he decides to sit there and, you know, come out of the room after he'd been in there for a couple hours doing homework and stuff, because he was in school and stuff too. So once he comes out, he sits there and he's like, yeah, you know, I want to talk to you or whatever. Because once he came out, I was ready to go in so I can go to bed. Like I was literally packing up my stuff, putting my bonnet on, finna go get ready to unwind. So at this point, he sits there and goes, yeah, you know, like he literally sit there and he would be trying to lecture me like he was a fucking teacher or like he was somebody's daddy. And I just wasn't having it this night. So he sat there and, you know, he tried to come over here and lecture me, sitting here having a conversation with me, literally saying like, oh, you know, I just can't believe that stunt that you pulled earlier and blah, blah, blah. Then on top of that, he's like, yeah, you know, I really just thought that it would be like I could trust you to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting here like looking at him, like staring at him, looking at him like this. And then at a point, it literally sounds like he's about to cry. So I'm literally sitting here trying to hold back my laughter. He sits there and he's literally having like this whole little lecture on me and literally trying to tell me, you know, how, you know, I should be better of a girlfriend than what I was being, simply because I didn't want to do that favor for him. And because I couldn't do that favor for him, I'm just sitting there, standing there like I thought we was over this, because we literally had a conversation about this that morning. So I didn't understand why he was still on this when I told him what it was that morning. Like, here's word of advice. If you're gonna be mad at somebody, be mad at them during that time, and then after that, you let it go. Especially if you let it go early in the morning, you don't bring it back later on at night. That doesn't make no sense. This is what really made me start to think like, wow, this guy is crazy. He's unstable. He's not like able to even do capable things that people can do. Because he was just acting really nuts. And then he just all of a sudden goes,
yeah, you know, I really love you so much, but I'm gonna need you to get all of your things and get the fuck out of my house.
And I'm like, the thing that kept me from laughing in front of his face, because of all that dramatics that he just gave me as if he was in a damn movie. Like, honestly, guys, I told you guys, Acrimony was his favorite movie. He would watch that movie on repeat. So I think he thought he was in a scene of a movie when he did that shit, because the dramatics, the crying, like, what movie do you think you in and seen? Like, cut it out. He sits there, and after he does all that dramatic shit, he's like,
and I can barely even sit here and say what I have to say to you with a straight face, because you've got that damn chef's hat on, so it's making me laugh.
So in the midst of this crazy dude sitting here crying, he's also laughing. I'm just baffled at this point. So, you know, I just sit there and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take my stuff. It wasn't really that late either at night. It was probably like 8 or 9 o'clock. So I wasn't even really tripping. I was like, let me just grab all my shit. I'm gonna sit there and take my bonnet off because I'm not gonna be one of those people that's driving with their bonnet and stuff on. I sat there and I got myself together, ready to get up out of there. When I grabbed all my stuff, I pretty much left. And then I got in my car. I was in my car for a little bit because I called my sister and brother just to let them know, like, this dude is absolutely nuts. He just put me out of his place over some shit that we discussed early this morning. So I'm about to come back home and I'm not gonna even be dealing with this dude tonight because I don't have time. Like, I'm done. This was initially like the first straw of me really being done. Like, this was like actually the second big straw of me really being done. Like, I'll explain in the breakup story time what really made me upset, and then kind of like this here just really brought me over the edge. In the midst of this, you know, I'm in the car, I'm talking for or whatever. Then as soon as I finish or whatever, then I, you know, crank the car up and I leave. And then as soon as I leave and I make it back home, I'm telling my family like the breakdown of everything and how it happened. And I get a call from him. When I get a call from him, I forward him to my voicemail or whatever, because I'm like, I'm not finna get on the phone with you. You literally just put me out the place. So why would I sit here and get on the phone with you and kiki and haha like everything's all good? Like, no, I'm not even having a conversation with you. So then he sits there and he tells me, texts me or whatever and says, oh, that's how we finna do it? Okay, well, I'm coming to give you all your things or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, all what things? I don't have really nothing over there. So, you know, he's like, I'm just coming to drop everything off. I'll be over there in like 5 minutes, because he didn't live that far from my place. He comes over and then I tell him, okay, when you do come over, don't ring the doorbell because I don't want you messing with my dog and having my dog disrupted and things like that, because she's trying to sleep. And I don't want her sitting here running up to the door trying to bark at your stupid self. So I pretty much sat here and gave him the rundown of what to do and just to leave all my stuff at the doorstep. So he pretty much tells me, yeah, you know, all the stuff is at the doorstep or whatever. You know, you could just get it when you want to get it. So I waited like, you know, about 5-10 minutes until he drove off. I didn't want to have him still standing at the door or whatever. I just wanted him to drop my stuff off and leave. By the time that I think that he was gone or whatever, I went to go check to see what was there that he was trying to say was my stuff that I needed to come get. When I tell you guys that all it was some little paper mache heart things that I gave him, a prom picture that I gave him of myself, and this like little love, it was like a sign that said love, and it was made out of wood. And I'm like, he could have kept this shit. I didn't need this. Like, he could have saved this trip. Like, he literally burned gas and came all the way over here to give me this for what? And then he literally tells me, oh, I didn't think you was gonna leave. Why wouldn't I leave? Like, why wouldn't I sit there and jump up and leave? Like, you're putting me out. Why would I stick around? After that whole situation, he kept sitting here trying to reach out to me and stuff like that, because we only had so much time before he was gonna go off. So we only had so much time to kind of get to be back on cool terms or whatever. And by the time that, you know, before he even took off and left, we was cool, we were amicable, we were actually back together, surprisingly, because he kept sitting here bugging me. But I'll explain to you guys in the breakup video as to why I kept, like, you know, kind of coming back or whatever. But eventually I kind of had like a game plan on how I was gonna escape and get the fuck ASAP. I'll explain that to you guys in the breakup story time. But like I said, if you guys really want that breakup story time, you're gonna have to thumbs this video up. You're gonna have to leave some comments saying you really want it. Otherwise, I ain't doing it. I'm gonna do other videos. Anyway, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Please be sure to follow me on all of my social medias. My social medias will be listed in the description box down below as well as in the outro. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!